Hello everyone and welcome to our YouTube channel. Today in this video we are going to discuss the explanation of your poem 9 Gold Medals. So we will begin this poem with the first stanza. The athletes had come from so many countries to run for the gold and the silver and bronze. Many weeks and months in training, all building up to the games. Now let's see its explanation. Athletes have come from many countries all over the world to take part in the Special Olympics. They were there to compete for gold, silver and bronze. They have gone through strenuous training for months to participate in the events with high hopes and dreams of winning medals. Now let's move to second stanza. All round the field spectators were gathered, cheering on all the young women and men. Then the final event of the day was approaching, the last race about to begin. Now let's see the explanation. A large audience was present at the ground to cheer the participants of different events. They cheered and enjoyed throughout the day. Now it was time for the final event of the day, the race. People were eagerly waiting for the event to begin. Now let's move to third stanza. The loudspeakers called out the names of the runners. The 100 meters, the race to be run, and 9 young athletes stood there determined and poised for the sound of the gun. Now let's move to its explanation. The names of the runners who would take part in the 100-meter race were announced. There were 9 participants, all determined to win the competition and lined up behind the starting point. They were ready to start, waiting for the sound of the gun. Now let's move to fourth stanza. The signal was given, the pistol exploded, and so did the runners on hearing the sound. But the youngest among them stumbled and staggered, and he fell on his knees to the ground. Now let's move to its explanation. The pistol exploded, signaling the start of the race. All the runners charged ahead along their respective tracks, but suddenly there occurred an unexpected thing. The shortest athlete among them stumbled and staggered and fell on his knees to the ground, the asphalt track. Now let's move to fifth stanza. He gave out a cry of frustration and anguish. His dreams and his efforts dashed in the dirt, but as sure as I am standing here telling the story, now it's a strange one. But here is what occurred. Now let's move to explanation. Nothing could be more frustrating for a differently abled athlete after such tough training. The moment he fell, he knew all his dreams, hopes and efforts were dusted. His pain and disappointment made him give out a cry. But it did not end here. There occurred something really strange following his fall. Now let's move to sixth stanza. The 8 other athletes stopped in their tracks, the ones who had trained for so long to compete. One by one they turned round and came back to help him and lifted the lad to his feet. Now, strangely enough, the 8 other athletes who were ahead of him stopped in their tracks. Though they had trained hard for so long to compete with one another and win medals, the fall of one athlete changed their minds. They now returned one by one and helped the fallen one stand up on his feet. Now let's move to seventh stanza. Then all 9 runners joined hands and continued. The 100 meters reduced to a walk, and the banner above that said Special Olympics could not have been nearer the mark. Then all the 9 athletes joined hands and walked to the finishing line together. The 100-meter race was reduced to a walk, but still it was special for great display of human compassion, cooperation and sportsman's spirit. It could not have been more special in any way. Now let's move to 8th stanza. That's how the race ended, with 9 gold medals. They came to the finish line holding hands still. Thus the race ended with 9 athletes holding their hands right to the finishing mark. They won 9 gold medals, one for each, very deserving. And the banner above and 9 smiling faces said more than these words ever will. Said more than these words ever will. The 9 sportsmen stood in smiling faces under the banner that declared it as a Special Olympics. Those smiling faces touched the heart of everyone present there. It delivered something special, a great feeling and a great lesson. This mere poem is not enough to express. It was beyond words. If you have enjoyed this video, make sure to like the video and subscribe our channel. Thank you.